You know, you think by now I will figure out how to do an intro, but apparently I'm still struggling on that part. Hello everybody and welcome back to this thing you call a podcast. I'm actually being consistent for once. Consistent. I'm already starting. Is that consistent? That sounds wrong. I don't know why that sounds wrong. But what I'm trying to say is I'm actually for once trying to, be productive and actually try and keep up with doing this. But hey, welcome back. So I just got off of work. I don't know. I just got off of work and I was really not about to do this. I'm not gonna hold you. But I just decided, you know what, I might as well just film something a little quick for you, for whomever is listening or watching. Also, you might be thinking, Tiffany, why are you wearing glasses if you're watching the video version? I don't know why. I bought them because I thought they were cute. My boyfriend said they look like Mia Khalifa. I won't take that as a compliment. Some people might not, but I will. But yeah, I bought these glasses because I thought they were cute. They're not prescription, and you also might see a reflection. It's off my TV. I do apologize for that if you're really distracted by it. But if you're not, cool. Also, my hair is a different color as well. Switching up a bit, back to what I'm supposed to look like. Not really. I mean, I used to wear glasses in school. I never really wore them though. Ever since I started wearing contacts, I really don't wear glasses because they just don't look right on me. Some pairs, these type of frames, I think bigger frames look way better because they cover up all of my face. Smaller frames, not so much. I just look fucking stupid because I have a really round head. I have a really fat one too. I have a big old dome on me. So I just prefer bigger glasses because it makes me look less like a man. Because someone told me once. Actually, no, not one person. Multiple people told me I look like a man. Which honestly hurts my feelings because I already have a deep voice as it is. I already hate my voice. But being told you look like one, like a man, it is really hurtful. Damn, don't hurt my feelings like that. I understand I look ugly, but you ain't got to call it out like that. That's really, really rude. I cannot wait for it to get warm outside. I am sick of this cold weather. I am sick of the fucking snow. I'm sick of the 33 degrees weather. That's literally, okay, first of all, I live in Pennsylvania. As some of you don't know. But some of you do know, but don't. I live in Pennsylvania. The most bipolar state that I know of. I'm sure there are other states that are just as bipolar as Pennsylvania. The weather is fucking ridiculous. One day it is 60 degrees sunny. The next day it is 30, literally the next day, not even a couple days later. No, literally the next day it is snowing and 33 degrees. What the fuck is up with that? I don't know. I don't know if I want to live in a warm state like Florida. I don't think I want to. Because, I already don't like the heat as it is. I do not function well in the heat. It's kind of difficult for me to do so. I don't think people understand when I say I don't like... I mean, I like summer. Don't get me wrong. I like, spring. I almost forgot what it was called. I like spring. I like summer. But the heat, I just can't do it. But maybe it's not much of the heat. I think it's, the humidity of it all. I don't know. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's a good combination of both, but I just can't stand weather that is going to make me feel like my skin is falling off for how hot it is. It's no one really believes me when I say that because you're like, oh, some people don't like the heat. Well, no, I really don't do well in the heat. I am so miserable. I feel disgusting. I already am I don't know what it is, but I discovered a couple weeks ago, I don't like being in a moving car when the heat is going. It makes me feel so nauseous. Is that some type of car sick? Is that what it is? How the people get motion sickness? Is that what it is? I'm convinced it is, but I feel like it's not so much. I don't know. Yeah. I tell this to people because I think I finally proved my point one time. Let me tell you a little story. Story time. I'm sure everyone loves this. But, oh my God, my voice just almost came out. Wow. One time, I think, I can't remember what, it was definitely summertime. It was beginning of summertime. It was when the weathers were going from being 40 degrees all the way up to 90 degrees. And for that couple weeks before that, like beginning of the week, I was just ungodly sick. I didn't have COVID. I didn't have the flu. I checked my fever. I checked everything. I took a COVID test. I didn't have any of that. I was just really, really fucking sick. And I feel like me only have one kidney kind of plays a big part in that, because now my immune system is really shitty now. Like when I was a kid, I used to eat dirt. I used to eat the grass. Don't ask why. I was a really weird kid. But I feel like my immune system should have been stronger than that. Apparently not. But because of how sick I wasn't really eating. I wasn't really drinking, because nothing would have really stayed down in order to have like an appetite. So I was really sick for a good couple of days. But on the fourth day, I thought it was a good idea to go back to work. I'm like, okay, maybe I can get through one shift. I'll be fine, right? Wrong. So I'm on my way to work. I took an Uber to work because the thought of me standing outside for the bus just made me feel gross. So I took an Uber to work, and I can already tell my ride to work was already like really shitty because how I felt. And I had to wear a mask too, because like I didn't want to get anyone sick in my job, my place of business. But as soon as I got out of the car and went into work, and I was like, I'm a hostess, I'm a hostess. And so I'm on my feet. I am standing all the time. That wasn't a good idea. I should have probably took another day off, honestly. But I got to work. I was working with one of my other coworkers. Her name is Juliana. Hey, Pooh. I was standing with her, and we had a perfect normal conversation. Like I was discussing whatever with her, and we were like done talking or whatnot, kind of doing our own thing, just trying to do our job. I'm standing next to her, and all of a sudden I get like really lightheaded and like really like dizzy. And then my vision started to get out, and then also my hearing started to give out, and my legs were starting to give out. I was like, oh, I'm going to pass out. I'm going to faint. I've never fainted before. I've been close to passing out because I wasn't really about to pass out, but I managed to kind of pull myself together is when I did my septum. I did my own septum. I pierced my own face. That's why as close as I got to passing out, but I didn't really fully pass out. But this time I actually did. I sat there and I was like, damn, I don't feel good. And I'm like looking around like, oh my God, I'm going to faint. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I was like, I don't have time to think at this point. So I kind of like stepped away from the stand because it's made out of marble. So if I would have head first into the hostess stand, I would have definitely cracked my dome open. But as soon as I stepped away, I went straight to the floor. And before I even hit the floor, I was out. I was out cold. I was gone. I'm guessing like, I asked people how long I was out for. People say it was like 5 to 10 minutes. That's a pretty long time. So I would also be very concerned if someone was out for that long. But it's like kind of like falling asleep almost, like suddenly falling asleep. It was really weird. I don't know. Personally, me, I thought it was weird because, like I said, I never passed out before. I finally woke up. My manager was in my face, holding my head. I'm discombobulated. People were standing around me. All of a sudden, I get embarrassed. I was like, oh my God. My anxiety is going through the roof because I don't know what it is, but having all eyes on me is probably the worst thing that could possibly happen in my own head because I hate being a center of attention. I hate attention, period. I mean, like, I like attention, don't get me wrong, but like one person though. By multiple people, aka an entire restaurant, it's embarrassing and it's I hated it. My friend, she's next to me. I'm like, what happened? And she's like, girl, you passed out. And I started laughing because like I felt so embarrassed. And then she's like, why are you laughing? And I'm like, I don't know. I start apologizing. That's what I do every time if I do something that's not even that big of a, that's something that's not even like worthy to apologize for. It's just a habit of mine. And she like, don't apologize. Like, I don't know. It was, I didn't know what to do. I did not know what to do. They called the ambulance. So that was great. I had to deal with them. They took my blood pressure. They did whatever. And they're like, did you eat anything? I'm not going to hold you. I did not eat that day or drink anything that day. But here's the thing. I'm not a big breakfast eater. I don't really tend to eat a lot anymore because when I was in high school, I used to, like, a lot. It was bad, honestly. But for that day, I just did not have an appetite to try and eat. So I just didn't really bother with it. I kind of just drank water. So I lied and said, yeah. I told them, yeah, because I don't think I'm fucking stupid. Like, well, duh, that's why you passed out. Clearly that's why I passed out. You know, it's kind of embarrassing to tell somebody who came to make sure you're okay that you didn't eat anything that day. And they're like, really, bitch? You made me come all the way out here? I don't know. It's just, I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be a burden, even though I am all the time. So they're like, were you sick a couple of days? Like, yeah, I definitely was sick way before, for 4 days straight. I was sick for 4 days straight. And they're like, well, that makes sense. And they're like, well, do you want to go home or do you want to take us to the hospital? I was like, it's best if you just take me to the hospital, because especially with now that like having only one kidney, I have all types of like scares like what am I trying to say? I am a nervous wreck now when it comes to my health, because I think after getting my organ decided to fail on me, I was like, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not dying, because I am very convinced at this point that I will die suddenly one day. So they take me to the hospital. They take my blood pressure again. They're like, wow, your blood pressure is really, 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 really low. So we're going to give you an IV. They did that. They took me to the hospital. They gave me checked in. This is funny, by the way. So, you know, like hospitals are really like tight on security. Like if you're coming in, you better not have anything on you that you don't need to have. So that's what happened. So I work downtown. All right. So I used to carry pepper spray and a switchblade on me because, you know, people are weird. I've encountered a lot of weird people, and one day I just don't want to die. I mean, I do want to die. I shouldn't be saying that. Anyways, so I used to carry a switchblade and a knife and like pepper spray on me just in case. You're working downtown, girly pop, and I get off at like 11 o'clock at night. You would too. So one of like the police or like security, whatever, came up to me, was like, hey, can I check your back? And I was like, of course. And like, you have anything in here or something? Like, I have a knife and pepper spray. And he kind of looked at me funny. I was like, girl, I work downtown. Don't look at me like that. Don't do it. Takes it. I never really got it back because he gave me a slip saying like, oh, just ask for it back. It was from Amazon. I can easily just buy another one. I wasn't really too worried about it. But anyways, back to my original point of this whole story. So I was in a hospital for a hot minute. It was a really long time because I don't know why. I mean, like, obviously the hospital, so there are other people, you know, around me that are actually dying. I'm not, but other people are. So a lady coming in and out, and she's like, you know, she's like, are you pregnant? I was like, I better not be. I better not be. I'm just saying, I better not be. Luckily, I'm not. Surprise. Woo, shocker. And she was like, okay. And then she took like an x-ray of my chest and whatnot, make sure my heart is good. My heart is perfectly fine. And she comes back, gives me a nice little, I think I still have the little pamphlet that she gave me. She's like, well, you're just really dehydrated. I was like, go figures. And she's like, so here's a little pamphlet on fainting. Make sure you drink a lot of Gatorade. I didn't. I just went straight home and drank water. Drink a lot of Gatorade, drink a lot of water. And if you have any more problems, just go to your regular health provider. And I was like, all right, cool. I had to make sure my mom knew and my brother knew. So like I texted my mom on the way to the hospital, like, hey, by the way, I'm going to the emergency room because I fainted at work. So she calls me and she's like, what the fuck happened? Told her the whole thing. Her and my brother. Same thing with my brother. He's like, are you pregnant? I was like, you know what? Funny thing is, the nurse just asked me that. And shockingly enough, I'm not pregnant. Went home. Had a day off the next day, so I went on a shopping spree to treat myself because, you know, I had a rough day. That was a really rough day for me. A really rough day. Yeah, more of the story. Stay hydrated. Don't do what I do. So I'm not exactly the brightest ball with the bunch, to be honest. But it's also funny now because now, like, my manager, stuff like that, like, especially during the summertime now, is making sure that I'm okay. They say, if you ever feel lightheaded or dizzy or any type of sort of not feeling well, let us know. Because the last thing they want to do is for me to faint on them again. Because I'm sure it's a lot. But luckily for that day, everyone got a really good tip because of me. So, I should do more often. I don't know what to talk about. I never realized how I can't even speak English. I'd never realized how hard it is to sit by yourself and talk to yourself. Now listen, I talk to myself a lot. Like if I'm doing something, like if I'm like doing my makeup or like just anything, I'm having a full blown conversation with myself in my head. like, okay, this might be a really random conversation, but like, I feel like I need to discuss it because I realized this today. It's really hard being dumb. Now, yes, I'm not dumb or stupid. I would say I am, but really, when it comes down to it, I am not. I'm maybe close to on the spectrum of being dumb. I'm very close to that end of stupid, but I wouldn't say I am. But like, I realize how hard it is to get through life being stupid. It is super fucking hard. Like, someone has to agree with me on this because I heard this on like another podcast. I 1,000% agree. You know how hard it is to get through life and do things not knowing what the fuck is going on half of the time? AKA not knowing a lot of things like how to do your taxes or how to apply to a job. Just stuff like that. You know how hard it is just being straight stupid? Like, I'm like, okay, I should probably go to the doctors and like get checked on. Because like, I think I think I'm autistic. I don't think I'm autistic, but it's probably the best way I could put it. But something's wrong with this. Something up in my head, something rattling around in my noggin, something's wrong with it. Because back to my original topic, it's so hard for me to like sit here and talk to myself when I have to force myself to talk to myself. Like, it's so much easier to talk to myself when I'm doing something and it just naturally comes out of me, like being naturally funny. I think I'm funny, but only when it comes out naturally. I can't force myself to be funny because then I just sound fucking stupid and I sound like I want to be funny, but I'm not. But my point is, it's so hard talking to myself like this. Like this is so hard. I've never realized how hard it is to force myself to have a conversation with absolutely nothing, especially in silence. Because usually I'm doing something and I hear something happening in the background that ends up having a conversation with me and my alter ego in my brain. It's just, I don't know. It's just so hard. Like, people don't realize how hard it is to sit here and actually like think of something. Like, it's so much easier to sit here and do a podcast with another human being because then you can talk about whatever. Like, whatever comes to mind, y'all can discuss it. For me, I'm struggling. I'm struggling a lot right now because like there's a lot for me to talk about, but there's so little for me. Like, it's so hard to put like a segue. Like, it's just difficult. Life is difficult for me. I mean, I'm sure it's difficult for a lot of people, but for me, especially, it's very difficult because like I have no motivation to do anything anymore. So it's just, I don't know. I'm trying to do this because it gives me something to do when I don't have anything to do. Hopefully I can keep up with this, be consistent, because I'm not consistent. I'm a procrastinator. All right. It's hard for me to get shit done when I'm supposed to get it done. Like lately, like my life been so boring. Like I need something like good to happen. Like, not good. I mean, I want something good to happen, but I need some drama. I need some tea happening in my life for me to be like, girl, listen, this shit crazy. Like, the only thing dramatic that happens in my life is at work when somebody is being a dickhole to me. It's astronomical how rude people are in customer service. Like, people that work in the restaurant industry or any customer service, you know how difficult people really are. Like, I mean, like, I feel like, and every job is customer service because you're dealing with other people. Like, you're helping other individuals because it's your job. But I don't know what the fuck it is, but with restaurants or like retail, that shit is so fucking annoying. Like, especially older people too. Like, I noticed in a few like younger people, like, don't even get me started on people my age. Some of them are just a bit ridiculous. You're my age and you're acting like you're like 12. Like, come on now. Don't embarrass yourself and don't embarrass me. Like, get your shit together. I don't know what the fuck it is, but like older people, I understand you're older than me. Like, congratulations. You were born before I even with a thought. But I don't care how old you are. You're not going to disrespect me, bitch, because I'm trying to do my job. I'm trying to help you. Like, especially, like, as I know, like, there's some, like, people that work in the industry that are so fucking mean for no reason. I understand you hate your job. Like, girl, me too. But, like, no need to give me this attitude. At least fake it. Like, I'm faking it too. You got to fake it as well. But I've rarely ever see that type of, like, thing. Because usually, like, you see videos of, like, people, like, getting mad at customers. You know 1,000% they just mad just to be mad. Like there's something happened before this for them to be mad. And then, of course, this fucking asswipe of a human being is recording them, trying to look like, you know, like, no, you're not a victim. You wished you were. Because, sorry, honey, this ain't your show. This is none of a show. Okay, the world does not revolve around you. So I'm going to need you to tone it down 3 million notches. Because, like, the people that I encounter, especially where I work at, I work in me like a business area. So I get a lot of business people. I deal with a lot of older business white men, if you know what I'm saying. And a lot of like there's a lot of people older, like, but I don't know like what it is. Okay, so here's the thing. So, all right. So a couple like weeks back, I think it's probably like a couple days, honestly, but I don't know. I have no concept of time. I have lose all time. Like I don't know what's happening half of the time. But this one time we were fully booked, okay, because we're mainly reservation. We're a type of restaurant because we're mainly reservation. Like if you don't have a reservation and it's a busy week or day, you're not getting a table. You're not. Come back a little later. I promise you might get something at the bar, maybe. Depends. But we had these two girls come in. It was me and another hostess. She's a little newer. She's not the other one that I talked about previously in my other story. But so we had these two girls come in and, you know, they're like, oh, like, can we have a table for two? And I was like, well, unfortunately, you know, we don't have any tables available because we are reservation only and our bar is currently full. And they're like, okay, we go stand at the bar. And I'm like, unfortunately, we're a no standing bar because we are a no standing bar. We're a pretty small restaurant. So standing is not an option. Okay. We have servers have to get by and because we're a bar, mainly a bar, but we have food as well. But it's, I'm not trying to give away my job. Like, my God, I'm gonna get fucking fired if I do. We have like really cool cocktails. Like we're very fancy with our presentation of our drinks. And a lot of them include fire. And it'd be really unfortunate if one of y'all motherfuckers got caught on fire. Because you can't get mad at us because we told you there's no standing. But if you get caught on fire, that's on you, honestly. That's literally on you. But back to what I was saying. So we told them back, no, we're a no standing bar. Unfortunately, no. And they leave. I'm like, okay, cool. And we have outdoor seating. We have enclosed little like huts for the wintertime. They really are not warm. Like certain days, if it's warmer outside, if it's like a tad bit warmer than, you know, your usual like 30-degree weather, it's pretty warm in these little greenhouses. They're heated with like these little like thermal candles. I don't know what you call them. I can't, you usually use them when you're camping. They come back inside and they're like, oh, well, can we sit outside? And unfortunately, we had reservations for outside. We had reservation all around. All right. Inside and outside. Like, we ain't got in our room. So we told them, unfortunately, we don't got anything outside either because we're a reservation only for outside as well. They stand there for a minute. They're looking outside, you know, looking around. One girl's leave. The other one's still standing there. I actually kind of felt bad. I didn't really feel bad, honestly, but I kind of did. Just a tiny bit. Just a tad bit. So I said, I butted in and I was like, I'm really sorry. I'm apologizing. This bitch turns to me and she was like, are you though? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, what now? Because if you really want to know the answer to that statement or question, you're not going to like the answer. You're not going to like the answer. Because she's like, are you though? Because you just told us no in like 10 different ways. And I was like, well, because we really ain't got no room. She got butthurt about it. And we're like, we're really sorry. I'm not anymore. Now I'm really not. After that statement that came out your mouth, I am not sorry. You can go kick rocks somewhere else, bitch. Honestly. So she fucking leaves. Like, I don't understand. Like, I understand that like you've been walking around for like a hot minute trying to find somewhere to eat and drink. But for the love of God, do not take it out on me. Don't take it out on anybody else that is behind me or anybody, just anybody, period. Like, it's not my fucking fault that you can't get anywhere because you're walking around on a Saturday night or a Friday night where it's fucking busy and it's warm too. It's not my problem. Like, I'm doing my job, bro. Like, the entitlement that come from people, it's astronomical. Like, there's so many bitches that I will say no to and they'll roll their eyes and like, okay, whatever, and walk away. What the fuck? Like, what did I do? I'm sorry you've been told no by 3 different places. Like, that is not my problem. How am I supposed to know that shit? Like, the fuck? Like, I am trying to help you, sis. Like, I'm trying to be extra nice. Usually I'm not. I've already told 10 people before you no. Not to tell you no, and then you're capping out to babes. Like, I'm trying to make it work for everybody. But if you walking around, especially if you know, like, especially if you've been to a restaurant that you've been to before and you know the reservations, don't come up and get mad at me when I tell you reservation only. Because you know this. You told me this, actually. Because I had one time I had this lady come in and she wanted a table. And I was like, okay, only available is outdoor seating. Okay, cool. I was like, but it's not available yet. You're working away at the bar, and I'll come get you. Da 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 da. So she goes to the bar. Table does open up, but the other hostess accidentally sat that table, so that table's not available no more. Then this bitch come up to me, like 10 minutes later, and she was like, I saw a table outside that was open, and it just got sat. Like, I thought you told me that we could sit outside. Yes, but here's the thing. There's 2 of us. Unfortunately, I did not communicate with the other one that I need a table to be open. She sat them because, they're there and you're there. Okay? And she's like, I'm scoffing too, bitch. I am scoffing as well. She literally, she was like, this is the 3rd time this happened. I'm like, what do you mean this is the 3rd time this happened? What are you talking about? She continues to explain, I've made a reservation. Like, I came in before without a reservation, and I've been told I would get sat, but never got sat. So you're telling me you walked in this building 3 different times without a reservation, for 3 different times on a busy day, and then get told no those 3 different times, including this time, so technically 4, those 3 different times? Because you're already technically sitting somewhere, and I'm not going to, like, I don't understand. Like, I'm confused now. Like, you've been here 3 different times. Why are you coming back? Why do you keep coming back? Like, since I work at a bar now, I get to deal with a lot of drunk people. Some people are pretty entertaining. I am not going to lie. Some of them are entertaining. Some of them are not as entertaining as others, unfortunately. I think one time, oh my God, yes. So this one time I had a drunk, short, Hispanic man come in, and I didn't know what to do because, like, he wasn't drunk just yet. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he was borderline, like he's still there, but he's not there. You know what I'm trying to say? So I didn't want to tell him no. I also didn't want to tell him yes. But he kind of walked, and I was like, hi. And he's kind of staring at me. This man did not speak any English, unfortunately, and I don't speak Spanish, so that kind of does not help my case or his. So I'm kind of pointing at the bar, and I'm like, you want to go to the bar? And he kind of looks at me, and he kind of shakes his head. I was like, okay, cool. Started walking over. He kept looking back at me, giving me, those eyes, what I'm talking about. Not in a good way either. Like, I'm not interested, dude. Makes his way over to the bar. A couple minutes pass. I see one of our bartenders, like, walking out. This man can barely stand on his own 2 feet. All right. And he had to be literally, like, kind of escorted out by one of our bartenders. He leaves. Bartender go back to what he was doing. And then I could kind of, like, see, because we had really big windows, and I can kind of see him walking back and forth. Well, not walking, but stumbling. And he's kind of going back and forth. And then he stops in front of the window. And I'm staring at him. I'm like, oh, please do not come in here. I'm praying right now. I'm like, please do not come in here. Please do not come in here. And he came right back in. He comes right back in, stands in front of me, and I'm staring. I'm like, you have to go, dude. Like, I'm basically telling him, like, he got kicked out once, so that means 2nd time he has to go. So, like, you gotta go, dude. And he's staring at me, and I'm like, and I'm like, out. Sorry, bro. Like, gotta get out. And he goes, you want me? Huh? I'm staring. I'm like, what? And he's like doing one, like, the emotion of, like, you want me. Like, I know you want me. I'd much rather sit on a hot grill than want you, bitch. Like, the fuck? I was like, no. Gotta get out. So I'm panicking a little because, like, I mean, like, don't give me, like, I hate, I sound so stupid. He's a little short man. So if it came down to it, I would probably drag his ass out myself. But, I got a little caught guard with the motions, and I'm kind of looking around frantically, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm looking for my manager, and God bless for one of the servers. She came up, and, like, my bartender came up behind her, and then my manager came up behind her. So it was 3 of us. So I feel protected. The bartender's talking to him in Spanish. Thank God, because he knew Spanish. Basically telling, like, what do you want? He said, I need a cab. And then homeboy, it's like, we can't call, my manager's like, we can't call you a cab. We can't. Finally, he leaves, and I'm like, cool. Comes back for the 3rd time. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, dude. He comes back the 3rd time. He walks in, and I was like, I can't do that. I literally said this out loud, like, I can't do this. I turned back around. I went into back. I was like, he's here again. And then as soon as we came back out there, he was gone. I was like, okay. Drunk people are hilarious. Not all drunk people, but most. Like, especially if they came in already sober and they're leaving drunk and they're like happy as shit. So I was like, it's the best thing to see. But like, obviously we cut them off. But I mean, come on now. Like, it's state law. State law, babes. I'm sure it's a law everywhere else, but it's a law here. But of course, we get a lot of our drunk assholes, a lot of people that will be cussing out the bartenders and then get mad when he get kicked out. And I'm like, babes, you are walking, like, you're being ridiculous. Like, you're like, come on now. You're going to sober up in the morning and you're going to realize what you did. And then you're going to contemplate your life. Like, honestly, like, every day I get reminded why I don't like people. Every single day I get reminded, damn, I really don't like the human race. I'm fortunately a part of that human race, but at least I'm not a dick to people when I go out. Like, I could never go down to a restaurant and be so demanding. Like I've, like, I mean, like, this should not bother me much as it does. My manager is like, just breathe. I'm like, don't tell me to breathe, because this is frustrating. Because you get to sit back there and observe everything and kind of be in your own little personal bubble and hide when I have to confront every human being that's walking through the door, especially when I have to tell them no. When telling an adult no is telling a grown-ass man no is literally like pulling teeth, bitch. It's like telling an alcoholic to stop drinking, especially when, like, I'm like a female and so they don't see me with a lot of respect. So my favorite thing to do is kind of like drop my voice, because like I have a customer service voice. Everybody to have a customer service voice. So here's my little secret. So, when people walk in, I'm like, hi, like, how are you doing? Like, how can I help you guys? It's really being very, like, cutesy about it, being very cutesy. Because, like, I'm a hostess. I'm the first person you see. So I have to make sure you are greeted and feel welcomed. I try to do that. Apparently, half of the time, I don't. So I try to be very welcoming. Like, hi, like, how are you doing? Like, just high-pitched, annoying-ass voice that I really don't like using. Especially if it's grown men, all right? Either they eat it up, or they just see you as an object. So it's either or. And then they're like, oh, like, table for whatever. And I'm like, or the bar. And I'm like, well, currently we're full. Yada, yada, yada. My customer service voice. And we're full. And we're fully booked with reservations. I do recommend coming back. Blah, 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 blah. They look at me crazy. Look at the bar. Oh, can we go stand at the bar? Unfortunately, we're no standing bar. But, like, you guys, we are first come, first serve. Look at the bar, and I'm like, we can stand at the bar. No, you can't. And I'm like, unfortunately, we don't allow. I'm really, really sorry. Just being very, like, it's very, like, I'm sorry. I'm not. And they're, like, they're now, like, completely ignoring me. Like, okay, we sit at this table. And I'm like, that table has a reservation coming in for it. And I'm like, now they're pissed with me. Now they're like, okay, I want to speak to, a male, an alpha male, if you know what I'm saying. And then now I have to drop my voice. Now I have to be like, all right, now I have to talk like a dude. I have to be starting with you like you're a kindergartner, like a teacher. I'm like a teacher now at this point, telling people to sit down, to no, yes, no. Like I feel like a teacher. I feel like a parent actually talking to half of these people. So then I pull out, Uno reverse them, and I'm like, well, we won't be here for long. And I'm like, unfortunately, no, dude. Not dude. I don't say dude, because God forbid I said dude and my manager finds out. Like, unfortunately, no. Like, I'm really sorry. Like, I do recommend coming back. There goes my customer service voice. There goes that cutesy little girl that you were talking to before. Now you're talking to me. Now you're talking to Tiffany. Not Stephanie. Tiffany. And now they're like, oh. Like, now they're like, okay. And I'm like, yeah. So, yeah, I do recommend coming back. Or if you're welcome to come, like, bars first come, first serve, dude. And they finally take the hint. They finally like, all right, we're gonna leave. It's a lot of pushback. It's a lot of like, That manager doesn't understand it. Cause he had this thing where he like, I'll tell him what happened, and he like repeat what I said basically. Like he will like, oh, like I'm like, okay, this happened, and he was like, what you want to say? Like, okay, first of all, pause before you finish. I do say what you're basically saying. I said what you said, but just flip all the words around. Put it in my version, all right? Because, like, they see me as a child. Because technically I am still, young. But when they see you, they have so much respect for you. Like, you don't understand. Like, I have so much pushback because adults don't see me as an adult. Like, they don't, like... before I'm like, you know what? You lucky I'm behind this counter. All right, you lucky I want this job because I don't feel like looking for another one. It's a lot of just struggling in my life. It's a lot of people in customer service. You will understand how annoying individuals can be, and then like they just can't take no as an answer, bitch. You'll live. I promise you. You're not gonna come back a little later today or the next day. You pick, but you're not gonna sit here and get mad at me because I told you no. Babe, I told no to 20 other people before you walked in. Like, you're not any special, especially when I told no to somebody and they're right behind them. Like, you clearly hear what I'm saying to them. Those people leave and they come in and they're like, oh, people for you. I'm like, I just told those two people in front of you no. So what makes you think, unless you got a reservation, you don't? Then no. I told them to no. I'm going to tell you no. Simple. Come on now. But there's also some people who do catch a hint. Some people who are like in and out. Like they'll come in. I'm like, I just want to see if you have any room. No. All right. Just want to ask. Or like I said, they're right behind people. They already hear the whole conversation. They understand. They're heading out. Like, thank you for not wasting my breath and time. Like, come on now. The phone is ringing. People are asking me to bust a table. Like, thank you. Like, fuck, Christ, people. The only one me. Especially, I'm literally the only person with full availability. Like, don't get me wrong. Everybody else is in college, so like, I understand their schedule. But bitch, it's only me. All right, I'm the only one full availability because I ain't got nothing else better to do with my life. All right, I never understand how you can walk into a restaurant and be so demanding. Like, bitch, if you don't home and cook your own food, like you probably spent like, especially like when they come to like our restaurant and they're like, oh my god, this is really pricey, babe. Go to the liquor store, get you a bottle for like $20, and go hard. Period. You don't have to spend like $60 on like 3 drinks when you can spend like $20 on one big ass bottle, straight liquor at home. Life is easier that way. Like I have, ever since I turned 21, I have not gone out to the bar ever since the day I turned 21. The only time I went out to drink was on my 21st birthday. Ever since then, I'm at home, bitch. I'm drinking wine. I'm drinking straight up whatever. And I'm getting drunk in the safety of my home. Because I don't have to worry about getting drugged. I don't have to worry about people trying to talk to me. Like, ugh. I'm so antisocial. Like, I much rather be home. Like, because, like, I don't understand. I don't understand going out and getting shit-faced. First of all, that's embarrassing. I know what getting shit-faced look like now. Especially out in public. I don't want to look like that. I know how I am when I'm drunk. Like, I think I'm pretty responsible when I'm drunk. Because, I'm not trying to take my shirt off or, like, shake ass or something and do something stupid. But at the same time, I'm not trying to get shit-faced or blackout drunk, not remember what happened, and then wake up somewhere where I don't know where I am. Like, that's my biggest fear is getting drunk or getting roofied or whatever. And then, like, I'm a female. I'm a woman. And I'm pretty attractive. So that's already in itself, like... No, I'd much rather stay home. It's cheaper and it's safer. There's more to say. Come on now. Like, yeah, maybe like when I finally get a little more comfortable going out to drink, I will, but for casual drinking. I'm not partying. I'm not party hardy over here. I am trying to just casually drink and go home. But so far, I am not doing because 1, I am broke. And 2, I just don't like people. Simple. As soon as I'm off of work, I want to go straight home. Or when I'm already home, I want to stay home. Simple. All right. If I want to give shit face, I'll go to the liquor store that's literally down the street from me, buy a bottle, come back home, and call it a night. But yeah. It's 8:00. I'm tired. I kind of want to cook food because I am starving. All right. I'm not eating a damn thing today. All I ate with Oreos and crackers and ramen as soon as I got home. So I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much for listening or watching. I really appreciate it. The fact that you are sitting here till the end. I appreciate you so much. If you guys want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, the No Life Podcast, or you can go follow or subscribe to my podcast that is on Spotify and Apple Music and whatever platform. That's the only 2 platforms that I know of that have my podcast on. I really would appreciate it. You can also go follow me on all my social medias. It's at Tiffany L. Crow. It's not that hard. Just Literally, it's really not that hard. Actually, I made it pretty easy for myself and everybody around me. It's great talking to you, or great talking to myself, just talking out loud. That's all I can do at this point. But I'll definitely catch y'all on the flip side. I'm so funny. I'm just gonna head out. But thank you so much for listening. Bye.